This episode is provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis, based on the most relevant LinkedIn posts about MarTech from calendar weeks 50 to 1. Frennis is a B2B market research company helping enterprises gain the market, customer, and competitive insights needed to drive growth and success. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into what B2B leaders are actually talking about as we look toward 2026. We're pulling straight from the frontline conversations to see the most critical shifts happening in MarTech.
And the signal, it's surprisingly consistent. It really feels like a sign of maturity in the space.
How so?
Well, we're moving the conversation off of just tools. The focus is now intensely on operational strategy, data foundations, and the talent you need to actually drive revenue.
Right. That move from just buying tech to really leveraging strategy is so key. So our mission today is to unpack the 5 big themes we saw and what they mean for you.
It's all about practical change, not hype. And the biggest topic, the one dominating everything, is, of course, artificial intelligence.
Okay, so let's start there. Theme 1. AI and automation are moving from those siloed experiments, the fun pilots from last year, into genuinely integrated operating models. We're calling this the orchestration imperative.
Exactly. Gen AI is now seen as an efficiency layer. It boosts what you already do. It doesn't just replace it.
And the focus is now squarely on scaling measurable business impact.
It is. Maximilian Koenig, he was reviewing some of the Deloitte trends, and he made this point really clearly. 2026 isn't about running more pilots.
No more. Let's see what happens.
No. It's about demanding that AI projects deliver real, quantifiable impact on the P&L. If you can't show the value, the project just stalls.
But the real advantage isn't just using AI, it's orchestrating it. Professor Alex Farsev highlighted this perfectly. It's about building adaptive systems.
Like a nervous system for your business.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. It can sense a signal in one channel, like a customer browsing a product page, and then react across the entire stack instantly.
And that idea of orchestration really changes the core of what automation even is. L'Oreal Lynch and Bainer Jamali argue we're moving away from that old rules-based model.
The whole if this, then that logic.
Right. We're moving to what they call dynamic decisioning. This is the big shift to agentic AI, where systems can genuinely act, not just follow a predefined rule.
Wait, okay, if an AI is acting, not just following a rule, how does that practically look different for a marketing team on the ground?
The difference is agency. A rules-based system might, send email Y when action X happens. An agentic AI, though, it observes X, but then it interprets the context.
So it's looking at purchase history, segment, channel preference.
All of it. And then it decides the best action.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a personalized SMS. Maybe it's flagging a sales rep to call, or maybe it's adjusting a bid price on an ad campaign. It's executing a whole workflow on its own.
That's a huge leap in execution power. Adam Brightigan had some really actionable use cases for this. I loved his concept of synthetic focus groups.
Oh, that was great.
You just feed raw customer data reviews, support tickets, whatever, into a model, and it builds a digital twin of your customer persona.
Which saves so much time. You can catch friction points before you spend a fortune on new creative. Brightigan also talked about predictive tone shift churn monitoring,
where the AI flags customers whose language suddenly gets more negative.
Exactly. It spots that velocity of change and triggers a save outreach before they actually cancel.
And the tools themselves are making this so much more efficient. Bill Stefopoulos detailed how you can integrate something like Clay right inside ChatGPT.
So GTM teams can run this deep, contextual outreach.
In one thread, you find the right person, you gather their org chart, hiring trends, get a verified email. It collapses hours of research into minutes.
But that kind of power needs serious oversight. This is why ops teams are so critical right now. Sarah McNamara shared how the next wave is these really specific AI agents.
Like what?
Like MQL or lead qualification agents that use AI analysis instead of just rigid scoring rules. Or agents that analyze meeting transcripts for sentiment and then automatically tag the right company in HubSpot.
And the market is definitely responding to this orchestration need. Alexander Atzberger and Shafqat Islam noted the momentum behind Optimizely's Opal platform,
which is basically an agent orchestration layer.
Right.
It became their fastest growing solution because it solves that last mile problem, letting these smart agents actually do things across different systems.
But all that efficiency, it brings us right into our next big theme, doesn't it?
It really does. It brings us headfirst into theme 2. Data and privacy are now strategic constraints and foundations. All that incredible AI power is completely useless without good signal.
Data quality is, it's universally cited as the #1 blocker. James Varley said that AI integration conversations Always pivot away from the model and back to the data.
How do you collect it, manage it, contextualize it?
Exactly. And Kelly McGuire was so clear about this. The best AI model in the world can't fix bad data inputs. If your data foundation is a mess, your AI investment just stalls.
And on top of that, you have this huge trust and legal risk.
Yeah.
I saw Ronak Jaggi's post about the Cognizant privacy settlement. That's a huge wake-up call.
For content syndication, right, the risk of consent fraud.
Yes. If you, the buyer, import a lead that never actually gave you true consent on your landing page, the mess is now yours. You own that liability.
So privacy stops being a checkbox and starts being a performance lever. Rajiv Dhingra made that point: consent-ready data dictates your signal quality, which in turn dictates your outcomes.
So what are the solutions? Architecturally, it's all about trust and unification. Vishal V argues the highest ROI move is shifting from data silos to a unified data layer.
A single golden record.
Usually stored in the customer data platform, a CDP.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. Because if you have a single, undisputed source of truth in a CDP or a data warehouse, what does that actually mean for the good old CRM?
That's where Taft Love's point is so provocative. He basically argues that the traditional CRM is becoming a poor tool for handling large data volumes or complex BI questions.
Especially in high-growth SaaS.
Exactly. If you're trying to answer questions about true ARR, LTV, complex segmentation, you're better off in a data warehouse with proper BI tools. The source of truth is moving out of the CRM.
So the CRM becomes the system of record for the salesperson's activities, but the data warehouse becomes the system of record for the business.
That's the shift. And it changes everything about how you think about data governance.
And that complexity, that need for alignment, it pushes us directly into theme 3. Revenue and go-to-market are shifting hard toward lifecycle value. It's about revenue durability.
Right. Marketing is now expected to show a clear link beyond just the initial lead. It's about pipeline quality and, crucially, retention.
Shripal Shah advises CMOs to counterbalance those heavy acquisition plans with real loyalty and lifecycle strategies. Mapping key moments like adoption, expansion, renewal.
And not just focusing on MQLs. This is that idea of orchestration over accumulation again. Marco Cuculi highlighted that companies with shared marketing and sales data models grew revenue 32% faster. The numbers are just there.
And the ultimate goal of all this is personalization at scale. Fabio Canalisi calls it the holy grail of MarTech.
But he also cautions that it's usually blocked by 3 major things.
Let me guess. Unified data is 1.
That's number 1. Number 2 is creative capacity, just having enough variance. And 3 is the technical dependencies on other teams.
And sometimes the failure isn't even technical. Rasmus Hulin pointed out that many personalization projects fail simply because of human misalignment.
Different teams defining personalization in completely different ways.
Yeah. The CRM team, campaign team, e-commerce leadership, they all have a different goal in mind. You need a shared language first.
And speaking of goals, the way customers even find businesses is changing. The front door is moving. Chris Trevetter observed that HubSpot's acquisition of XFunnel is a massive signal.
A huge acceleration toward Answer Engine Optimisation, AEO.
That is such a fascinating insight. AEO means your goal isn't just to rank on Google anymore. Visibility now means being the cited source inside the AI's answer.
Exactly. When an AI agent answers a complex B2B query, your brand needs to be the authority it pulls from.
So authority is the new mode. Lisa Warren and Rashi Singhania were really hammering this point home. You have to shift from just optimizing for keywords to becoming that trusted, citable source.
Yeah, and Don Brent noted that AI actually rewards lived experience and practitioner insights. It often favors platforms like Reddit and LinkedIn over drier traditional publishers. The signal matters more than the format.
Which brings us to our final theme, the one that really ties all of this together. Theme 4, platform, stack strategy, and governance. If complexity is the enemy, simplification is the only way forward.
And the stacks are definitely predicted to shrink. Emre Fidilioglou sees specialized point solutions for things like push notifications or loyalty just being absorbed into core platforms.
Into the CDP or CRM. Rashi Singhania went even further. She predicted stacks could collapse from, nearly 100 tools down to maybe 40.
Because the integration debt is just too high a tax.
It is. And this simplification has to happen because, as George Knight argues, most MarTech challenges are actually operating model problems. They're not tool problems.
The process is broken.
Exactly. The definitions live in people's heads. QA is optional. Measurement is an afterthought. The tool itself is probably fine.
Bob Croft, MAMI, agrees. Stacks fail because of a misalignment of strategy, data, and execution. Not because of the technology. Tech just amplifies clarity. It doesn't fix confusion.
Which is why integration is the #1 criteria for MarTech evaluation, as Scott Brinker reminds us every year. Mike Rizzo says most teams have a coordination problem, not a tooling problem.
And operations pros are the ones equipped to fix that.
Absolutely. The ops function is being elevated. Christopher Swarup advises CMOs to hire marketing ops early, before the chaos even starts.
Because ops is the operating system. It ensures trusted data and prevents governance issues from day one.
And without dedicated MOPs, RevOps just defaults to being sales ops with better branding, and marketing gets left behind.
We also have to think about creative governance in this new AI world. Kenneth Waddell had a really critical warning about trying to just prompt your brand guidelines into an AI.
Right, because Gen AI creates texture and variation, not strict compliance.
So he advocates for hard constraint workflows, using code or JSON injection to actually lock down the key brand rules.
Things like hex codes, official logos, the non-negotiables.
So the brand stays locked. Even when the AI gets creative, compliance can't be an option.
That distinction between texture and compliance is absolutely essential. And this whole conversation, really from orchestration to data to governance, it all points to one massive conclusion.
The rise of marketing ops as the strategic heart of the business.
It's the ultimate synthesis of all 4 themes. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it brings up a really important question about talent. Daniel Chishti noted that many companies already have a talent bottleneck.
They need people more than they need software.
They need skilled channel marketers, personalization specialists, and data pros more urgently than they need another subscription.
Which suggests that the ability to supervise the machine is the next great skill set.
I think so. Michael Hartman suggested that the next generation of successful CMOs may very well come from marketing ops. They already operate at that intersection of strategy, data, systems, and execution. So if AI handles the raw execution, the key investment isn't the tool. It's the strategy and the talent capable of supervising the agents. That's what will separate the winners from the losers in 2026.
A perfect thought to take into your next quarter planning. If you enjoyed this deep dive, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, AI and B2B marketing, go-to-market, and social selling. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. Subscribe to ensure you don't miss our next analysis.